First time a woman will serve as the White House chief of staff. President-elect Donald Trump named co-campaign chair Susie Wiles to the role on Thursday. The chief of staff is often considered one of the most important unelected posts in Washington, D.C. Wiles has gained respect among Republican allies throughout her career in political campaigns, along with her work on the Trump 2024 campaign. She was his state director in Florida for the previous two contests.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Today is 10th day of November 2024. There is an information at my disposal that came yesterday. And what could that be? The presidency. When I mean the presidency, the federal government of Nigeria allegedly held meeting yesterday for them to start lobbying against Biafra agitation to the new government that is coming in America. That sounds funny, right? That sounds irrelevant. It doesn't make sense. How would presidency start lobbying against Biafra agitation and IPOB to the new president-elect? By the way, Trump has communicated to the presidents of South Africa, Egypt, and Kenya. I don't know whether he's sidelined the giant of Africa, but that is a topic for another day. Now, this is a disturbing news to the presidency. And why is it a disturbing news to the presidency? Stay with me throughout this video. I am going to decode one of the greatest secrets about Biafra agitation, Trump's government, and the Nigeria government that you have never heard before. Now, I am going to tell you that one of the most important things to Tinubu's government now is to convince the government of Donald J. Trump why there should not be secession in Nigeria. And why is it so? Donald J. Trump just announced that the co-chair of his campaign, Susie Wiles, will be his own chief of staff. And who is Susie Wiles? Susie Wiles is the lobbyist of nnamdikanu before the Congress in America. Nnamdikanu, through the IPOB, during the time nnamdikanu have not been put into detention, was paying Susie Wiles' company. She has a lobbyist company, a lobbying company that lobbies for people if you want to do anything. It's not only about the Biafra agitation. She lobbies for both tobacco companies and so many companies in America. Now, why is this a disturbing news? Susie Wiles personally have interest about the liberation of people who are being punished because of their self-determination. She's in love with that. And that is why she found interest about Biafra agitation. Now, in the year 2020, they asked nnamdikanu to come closer to Donald Trump's campaign and so on and so forth, so that when Donald Trump becomes the 46th president of America, it will be easier for them to do everything they have planned. Unfortunately, Donald Trump lost the election. During the campaign, you saw nnamdikanu was invited by the head of Republican Party in the state of Iowa. nnamdikanu was there in the VIP, the news trended the period, but people don't understand what was going on, underground, if I may say so. Now, after Donald Trump lost the election, it seems that the whole plan has been shattered. And the new government that came in, that is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they don't have interest about people who are dying. And that is why even when so many people were massacred, orchestrated massacre against the Christians on Christmas Eve, where they killed almost 200 and something people, they sacked the village in Plateau State, the whole world leaders almost reacted, but America did not react because they don't find interest in doing all those things. Only thing they have interest is that Nigeria should be able to allow men who want to become women to become women, people who want to become cats to become cats. They should allow everybody to live the way they want. That is what interests Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now, here is the tension. This woman has been appointed by Trump as the chief of staff. And this is the most important thing to the Nigerian government at this moment. Why? Because Biafra agitation, despite nnamdikanu is in detention, is going to get a new twist. And people don't understand how the international politics controls a lot of things that happen in Nigeria. Before I go forward, let me just digress a little to tell you that the Democrats, their party, that is the left wing of the United States politics, they are responsible for so many things that are going on in Nigeria. I could remember how Goodluck Ebele Jonathan went to Barack Obama and begged Barack Obama, I need help in my country to fight against Boko Haram because people are sponsoring these terrorists and so on and so forth. Barack Obama was looking at Jonathan like someone who is non-entity because for him, he has killed Gaddafi. And he's ready to do undo to any president in Africa. That power was intoxicating him. So Barack Obama single-handedly facilitated the removal of Goodluck Jonathan. Even while Nigerian election was going, Barack Obama sent troops to Ghana, waiting in Ghana. If anything happened, they will help to remove Jonathan. So Jonathan saw all those things and he gave up by making call to Buhari, even when Professor Atahiro Jega, the INEC chairman then, has not announced the election. Now, let us come back to what is happening, why the federal government is interested to negotiating to the new government that is coming to America, because they are afraid that the government is going to wholeheartedly support Biafra agitation because of marginalization and persecution of the minority people from across Africa. Let's dive into the news. So, following this development, Sahara Reporters published yesterday that how Donald Trump's new chief of staff, Susie Wiles, worked for IPOB movement in 2019 through her lobbying firm. The article was written on November 9, 2024. Days ago, Trump, who defeated Vice President Kamala Harris in the tight presidential contest, had selected his campaign manager, Susie Wiles, to serve as his chief of staff. Here is the details of the article. Susie Wiles, the newly announced chief of staff to United States President-elect Donald Trump, was co-chair of a lobbying firm hired by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB in 2019, and the two parties extensively worked together, records have shown. Days ago, Trump, who defeated Vice President Kamala Harris in the tight presidential contest, has selected his campaign manager Susie Wiles to serve as his chief of staff. Wiles will be the first woman to serve as chief of staff. Susie Wiles just helped me achieve one of the greatest political victories in American history and was an integral part of both my 2016 and 2020 successful campaigns, Trump said in the statement announcing his election. Susie is tough, smart, innovative, and is universally admired and respected. Susie will continue to work tirelessly to make America great again, Donald Trump added. The profile of Wiles revealed that until earlier this year, she was a lobbyist for tobacco company Swisha International, for which she worked to influence Congress on FDA regulations, according to disclosures filed with the Senate. She is a co-chair of Mercury Public Affairs since February 2022, and she was a lobbyist for Ballard Partners, the firm founded by Trump ally and campaign bundler Brain Ballard. There she worked as a lobbyist for coal company Alliance Resources Partner, insurance company, Bankers Financial Corporation, General Motors Marketing Companies, Zeta Global, Transportation Company, Origin Logistics, and more companies. A further probe into her records revealed that IPOB hired the Wiles firm to lobby the Congress and the Senate Department on the promotion of human rights and democracy in Nigeria, according to a report by foreignlobby.com in 2021. IPOB has a lobbying contract with the Mercury Public Affairs. The engagement, which started in October 2019, is for $85,000 per month, $85,000 per month, but the firm only disclosed $254,000 in payment with the U.S. Department of Justice for all of last year. According to media reports, the emergence of Donald Trump as the winner of the U.S. presidential election intensified hope of an independent nation known as Biafra. As Trump's victory was sealed, messages started to circulate in a WhatsApp group created for the Biafra agitation. President Donald Trump's victory is an inspiration to Biafrans all over the world. Trump defeated Vice President Kamala Harris in the 6th November election to emerge as the 47th President of the United States of America. While his own win has been viewed with a level of misgiving by his critics in Africa, there was jubilation in the Biafra agitation community. As world leaders sent out their congratulatory message to Trump, self-proclaimed Biafra Prime Minister Simon Ekpa quickly joined the fray. As a emerging nation, the United States of Biafra looks forward to the USA's commitment to the principle of self-determination and the freedom of people to choose their own form of government, Ekpa, who lives in Finland, said on X. Another separatist said on X, Biafran is set to exit. We have suffered in the hands of Nigerian terrorist government. Freedom is now. The Republic of Biafra in Nigeria Eastern region is dominated by the Igbo ethnic group. In 2020, the group claimed that the leadership of the U.S. Republican Party in Iowa invited Nnamdi Kanu as a special guest at a Trump campaign rally. 4 years earlier, Kanu had written to Trump, then president-elect, and urged him to support Biafra's push for independence in the same way that he had amplified the message of Brexiters in the United Kingdom. So this is the details of the article from the Sarah Reporters, and what do you understand by this? Well, for me, I think there is no cause for alarm, but the federal government of Nigeria knows the reason, the exact reason why they are panicking. They know the exact reason why they are trying to hold a meeting and start counter-campaign against this Biafra agitation issue. Maybe they really understand that Trump stands for, especially for people who have been marginalized, persecuted because of their minority, because they find themselves in a country that is not suitable for them, and so on and so forth. You know, I could remember how Trump also supported the Brexit. But the issue is this: the Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB was not looking for America to come and help them to do so many things. No. They were just looking for a way where they can push further to make sure they have their own country, where no any other foreign government will interfere. That was the point Nnamdi Kanu was pushing for. And what is happening today, the whole fight circulating from around the world, where the former Nigeria military intelligence, Kunde Onduwami, sorry, I forgot the name, but you know who I'm talking about, who have worked with the DSS and Onduwami, yes, Kunde Onduwami. So the man has sent files to so many international communities stating what he discovered when he was working with the DSS, that Nigeria is said to be Islamized, and the people in the presidency, senate, and governors are aware of it, but they don't want to act against it. All those files and this information available is something that could trigger this new government in US to look into this, because the freedom of religion.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on whatever you are watching us from. It's another edition of Politics on the Street. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse. Mazi, do you think it's a victory for the Biafran agitation and struggle, whereby Donald Trump has appointed the chief of staff, the woman that helped Nnamdi Kanu lobby it, even while Nnamdi Kanu was not in session now? So what do you think it owes for the struggle of the Biafra? Do you think this lady will promote this Biafra agitation and cause? You see, I thank God Almighty in all things. God to know how His position His own things, and God to know how His fashion His own tool to use them to work. Now, I, Mr. Okpara, the new Okokon them. The way I look at this lady that Trump point as his chief of staff, I think that is the Lord's doing. I think that the Lord, our God Almighty, are pushing the helpers of Biafra into a right position. Now, look at it. Since 2021, they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and put him in the prison. Had he been, is Donald Trump is there, by now, Nnamdi Kanu could have come out. Really? I'm telling you honestly. Because when Nnamdi Kanu was in, remember there was a time when Nnamdi Kanu was based in America. It was the first time of Donald Trump leading American government. The first time he win, he was there. And Nnamdi Kanu was there, saying, campaigning, broadcasting, telling the world what Nigerians are doing to Biafra and why Biafra should leave Nigeria. Nobody kidnapped him, nobody harassed him. Now, after Donald Trump lose the election, because Nnamdi Kanu wasn't in pali with the Democrats, he had to leave Britain, he had to leave America and go to Britain. Now, Nnamdi Kanu kidnapping could have taken place in Britain, but Britain, look at it, it will be so shameful or so condemnable in the eyes of international community that it was in Britain they came and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. Therefore, British should know about it. They arrange it and know that Nnamdi Kanu will go to Kenya with the spies and everything. They negotiate with the Kenya government with the lobbyists of British. Uhuru Kenyatta accept that if Nnamdi Kanu come to their place, let it be kidnapped. Kidnappers and everything have set there waiting for Nnamdi Kanu. Is it not in the airport they kidnap you? Waiting there. Now, and this woman need to show that American will favor us. Her bill is Donald Trump is there since all these 4 years that Biden rule. America will favor us. Really? I'm telling you honestly. Because, okay, look at Donald Trump question that the answer on the question they asked him about racism and the oppression. He said no, he never support it. Whether it's a country, whether it's individual, whether it's a nation or group of people, he will never support racism. He will never support suppression of anybody. That everybody will have his own right to live. I remember his statement. He said that government does not give freedom, but freedom comes from God. Which means they are talking about that people are supposed to be free on that from their bondage. Therefore, if this woman that become his chief of staff have been working with the IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu when Nnamdi Kanu was free and based in America. Okay, there's a pali, there's a jojo between this woman and the IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra. And this woman is not only a lobbyist on Biafra, she's a lobbyist on other organizations. And all those, if you look at her profile, no organization or country or group of people she's lobbying for. She has plenty of people. That lobbying will be a failure. It should always succeed. Okay, she always succeed. She always succeed. He has a lobbying firm. Okay. You understand? Yes. So in US, so if this woman, God will plant her over there, and she pick her former step, her former stand with IPOB, do you think that we will not succeed? Now he's closer to Donald Trump. Do you think that Donald Trump will not hear the crying of Biafrans? Do you think that Donald Trump will not hear the pleading of Biafran government in exile? What role Donald Trump has? Is Donald Trump, is he the one that will give Biafra the freedom? No, Donald Trump is not the one that gives the freedom, but his recognition matters. American recognition is 100% good. Okay? It's 100% good to Biafrans. You understand? This is why Nigerian government, we are lobbying America now not to recognize Simon Ekpa and Biafran agitation. Yes. Because they know the value of America in this area. I remember America fought for their own independence. And they know what independence means. They know that it's good for people to be free. You know what I'm saying? Okay. When America did not stand against apartheid in South Africa, did apartheid stop? Until America rise up and say apartheid enough is enough, apartheid come to an end. So America has influence in the world. I'm not saying that America is the world. I'm not saying America is the only country that has influence in the world, but America has influence in the world, and there's other nation has influence in the world, and this is why I fear Britain. Britain has influence in the world. It was the influence of Britain that made Biafra to lose the first war. Influence of Britain make America not to come up openly and support Biafra in the first war. But now I think that America have realized themselves. America have come up to stand to favor Biafra. And if you watch, not only this woman, even this present time, Simon Ekpa is leading IPOB autopilot until Nnamdi Kanu come out. Simon Ekpa see, we still have American as a lobbyist, is a man, and he's making a progress. How much more when this lady come closer? Because chief of staff means before you see the president, you pass her office. So very well. So it's easy now for Biafran letter, for Biafran delegates, for Biafran phone to reach Donald Trump here. The only thing lets Biafra, Simon Ekpa, Biafra government in exile, carry this woman along, because now she's a very vital instrument. God has set it there as a blessing to Biafra. Set her there in that position. I think she's the first woman. I think she's the first woman in America to be a chief of staff to a president. See how God is working. And in this crucial time, Biafra need people like her. God position her. God position her. You haven't seen it? So let Biafra carry her along. Let Biafra hold her like an egg. Let Biafra not allow her to fall. And let us see what God will use her to do for us. I say that Simon Ekpa should be charged to her immediately. Without the wasting of time. Even before the swearing in. Okay. Not only her, all of them that operate in that office of chief of staff, let Simon Ekpa reach all of them one after the other. But let this woman be the champion he will meet. So that Donald Trump, the president-elect of America, will be able to hear our voice. The president-elect of America will be able to hear the Biafran voice and the Biafran song. But what if reverse is the case, man? I said there's no reverse in the case. God planted Donald Trump there, not only for Biafra, but for liberation of America, for liberation of the whole world. Look at when Obama was there. Look at Joe Biden. All of them, we are pushing the world to Antichrist. We're pushing the world to Antichrist. And I just want to say a very big thank you to Mazi Opala for always coming to the show to air your views and get your very conditions. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, my